houses. One of those congressional House winners is Dan Crenshaw with the Texas GOP, of course. So, Dan, the blue wave, at the very least, has been stopped in its tracks. Does it surprise you? Does it surprise you that everybody else was not predicting this?
It doesn't surprise me that this infamous blue wave never seems to materialize, because here's the things: Texans like their state. We like being the #1 business climate in America. We like our low taxes. We like less regulations. We like good governance. We like more freedom. We like secure borders. We like safe communities. We like funding our police. See, all of these things are the complete opposite of what the left wants. The left wants to destroy our energy sector, raise our taxes, and make our business climate more like California's. I don't see why this would be a compelling message to win. And as we know, they spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to try and flip it. Almost, aside from me, almost every single candidate in Texas, Republican, was outspent by Democrats. And yet that blue wave was stopped right in its tracks.
Sure. And, you know, at the very last presidential debate, in about the last 3 minutes, Joe Biden revealed he was interested in transitioning away from fossil fuels and traditional oil sources. And 10 million Americans make their living with that, particularly a lot of them down there in Texas. Are you, what's your assessment of where we are with the state of the race regarding the presidency? Because right now, the president and his team filing suit in another number of states because they say that the voting the voting was okay, but the vote tabulation, they're a little worried about whether or not it's accurate.
Yeah. This is why the integrity of our elections and the system that we use is so important, right? You have to trust the rules of the game. You know, I was very outspoken on this in the months leading up to this, as everybody was arguing about changing election laws at the last minute to accommodate for the virus. And this is dangerous. As Bill Barr said, this is playing with fire, right? The integrity of an election system has to be self-evident. It cannot rely on the opinions of election officials or politicians saying, no, don't worry, it's fine. You know, you don't have to have a conspiracy theory. You don't have to worry about this. Don't worry about these discrepancies. Don't worry about these irregularities. The system needs to be self-evident that it is secure. Right, which means the process has to be simple, the rules have to be strict, there has to be strict deadlines, they have to be transparent. These should not be controversial topics, right? And so to experiment with this low integrity voting process that many states have in one of the most divided times in our country's history is playing with fire. It was the worst thing that they could have done to our country, and now we're paying the price when we all saw this coming.
What does the House, the future of the House, look like? Because there's some centrists that are Democrats that are saying Nancy Pelosi needs to step down or she doesn't need to be the leader anymore. This is what they told The Hill. It's time for Democrats to elevate a new generation of leadership in both the House and the Senate. Americans are clearly afraid of socialism, want safe streets and neighborhoods, and to vote for people who they believe will help put more money in their pockets. What do you think will happen in the House?
Yeah, the irony of that statement is that the new generation of Democrats are all socialists. AOC, so I'm not so sure what they mean by that. Look, I'm not a fly on the wall inside those caucus meetings, but it will be entertaining to see them fight this one out. What is very clear is that Nancy Pelosi lost, and she lost big. Now, she's a very good fundraiser. Again, they outspent us in every single possible way, and yet they lost in every single possible way. It looks like we'll keep the Senate, and we regained quite a few House seats as well. I think it confirmed at least 7 flips. I'm hopeful that we see more than that. You know, who would take her place, though? I mean, that's a fascinating question, and hard for me to answer. I will say Nancy Pelosi makes a great opponent for Republicans, though, so you know we enjoy that a little bit. But really curious to see what happens on the other side.
What happens in this race? Does Trump have? Does he have a path? He obviously has a path. Anything can happen. It's not over yet. But do you think he'll win?
God, you know, let's just be hopeful that he does. There's clearly a path. You know, we're counting those ballots in Arizona right now. It seems like Pennsylvania is on a good track as well as in Georgia. So I'm glued to my screen just like you guys are.
Right. Southwest Texas, where he really benefited. And Dan, you know what else I feel heartened by? The American people did not like the persona Nancy Pelosi, tearing up the State of the Union address, the way she just dismisses the president, acts like he doesn't exist. I think they much like the idea of a statesman like Paul Ryan in that slot. And no matter what party's in, she's like a professional wrestler.
Right. I mean, and you see this across many states. You see, congressional candidates perhaps outperforming the president. Americans do tend towards split government. Mm-hmm. You see the stock market start to rise when it believes that it has a split government because it means government's going to do less. Mm-hmm. So this tells you something about the disposition of where Americans are at as far as what they want in their political beliefs. We don't need the federal government telling us what to do in every single way. We don't need total control over our lives. Let us thrive. All right. Do your purpose of government, which is to protect our inalienable rights, to pursue our happiness. Right. That's the whole point.
Right.
And I think Americans instinctively understand that.
But you got to get some big things done. You got to get immigration reform done, and it's going to take compromise. And I'm just wondering when that's going to happen at some point.
Well, yeah, you wonder when immigration reform is going to happen. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think if we want to go down the immigration reform path, the first thing that has to happen is border security, and I will say under this administration we've made a lot of huge strides along those lines. That they're a little bit underreported, but illegal immigration coming across our border has massively dropped because of the steps this administration has taken, both in terms of just enforcing the law, building infrastructure, working with Mexico, working with Guatemala and Honduras, El Salvador. The huge strides. So. One of the worst case scenarios is a Biden presidency takes over. They completely reverse all of these great policies, and then we're right back where we started, where no compromise can ever happen.
Right, exactly. Dan Crenshaw, congratulations on your win a couple of nights ago.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so it was exciting. It was a lot of fun. I think we won by more than we expected. My margin of victory was 7 points last time and 14 points this time. So again, I think Americans rejected this notion of socialism, rejected this notion that we should destroy our energy sector and raise our taxes.
Well, because you won, next time you're on, we're going to get one of those ear things that actually fits on you. So,
yeah,
good enough.
I know, right? Hey.
All right. Congressman, thank you very much.